Welcome to SIS Stories. This is Miss Bacigalupo's English 10 class, storytelling under the theme, Enter, Return. This is Sunny's memoir. Listen to her tell about what happens when one enters and exits the lands of imagination and reality.
Lighting equipment shine on me. 10 hands fixing my hair, my makeup, my costume. 5 cameras focused on me, and my lovely co-actors practicing their lines by my side. As I prepare myself to transform into the movie character that I have been casted for, I check my Instagram updates one last time. 45,000 new notifications. I slide my phone open and my profile appears. 900 posts, 120 million followers, 23 following. Okay, action on 3, 2, calls the director. Wait, I shout, pass my phone to my manager who is somehow always ready for anything, and switch myself onto the character for my first line. I told you not to come back, I act. I allow myself a moment to feel the rising awe from my watching crowd and their eagerness to step in and reach closer. As I depart, cut, good. Now get ready for the next scene, calls the director. As I depart from my character, my manager runs up to me and asks, you need to choose a dress for tonight. Do you prefer Chanel or Gucci? Tonight? What do I stop and recall the fact that I have a red carpet for the awards night tonight, and that the MC has already hinted to me how many awards I'll be bestowed. I crack into a smile and delight and reply, Chanel. I recoiled when I recognized my own room. I dropped my head down only to bump into the pile of MUN work that was stacked on top of my desk. I sighed in disappointment, and the sense of imagination still lingered above my body. I tried to shake away the fantasy that I just created in my brain, but this time it wasn't easy. I could still hear the director's shouts in my ears. I told you not to come back. I tried, but failed miserably because the tone of disappointment was too apparent in my voice. I tried again, but gave up and grudgingly turned to face the overload of homework on my desk. But I turned away as soon as my eyes came in contact with my half-written Chinese essay. I could feel stress accumulating in my brain, and memories of people glaring their eyes at me and giving me hurtful comments popped up. At last, I managed to soothe myself with the thought that one day when all the streets I walk are covered with my fans, the people who once glared their eyes at me will regret and beseech for my mercy. With a somewhat easy emotion, I lifted my pencil and forced myself to focus on my Chinese essay. Although my eyes could scan through the Chinese characters, the meanings bounced off the mini thought shield I created around my brain, and I ended up reading a meaningless paper for half an hour. I was extremely frustrated, so I threw myself on the bed, and that led me to stare up at a plain ceiling. A perfect start for another imagination. No. The event manager explains, you will enter from stage right and walk down the corridor where the fans would be lined up. Would I be able to reach my arms out and shake hands with them and take selfies with them? I ask. No, I wouldn't do that just because then all the fans would fight to reach you, and that would be such a big chaos, she replies bluntly. This would be my first global fan meeting event, and I'm overly thrilled to hold one because I've been to countless local autograph events and concerts that I was almost going to vomit at their tedium. And the event manager reported this morning that over 1 million tickets were sold already, and that number really astounded me because I wasn't anticipating that big of an audience, but the thought of seeing 1 million devotees all cheering for me sparks a bubble of ecstasy in my heart. With all these thoughts, I entered the dressing room to make final preparations. It took quite an effort to come to this, Sunny, I hear myself inside. Now it's your time to enjoy this moment that you have accomplished. I look up at the mirror and find the beaming world star staring back. Just wait till I come, fans. As I step in, a roar of howls and cries rings the entire stadium, and I hear cries bursting out into an acclamation, light flashing at all sides, and people jumping up and down at the sight of me. This, undoubtedly, is the most welcoming spirit that I have ever experienced. This spirit reaches into the innermost shell of my heart, and I wave both hands high with effort to deliver this overwhelming emotion to every single person who can resist this moment. I stumble down the corridor, with each step bringing me closer to the core of the spirit, and my heart rate accelerates at a rapid speed. I reach my arms out, disregarding the event manager's words, and feel my fingers come in contact with a warm hand. As I push myself to move on, the person whose hand belongs to moves out and reveals herself. The second I take a glance at her, my mouth drops, and I find myself on the ground. I can feel the guards lifting me up and asking me questions, but I can't hear them. I can only perceive her face, still with a grin, gazing back at me. My all-time idol, since elementary to this day, has come to my fan meeting. Susie was my fan. How long are you going to be lying down like that? Did you even finish your homework? Someone, most likely my mom, yelled. I gasped and jumped up and looked up at the poster that was beside my bed and fully woke up. It was a poster I ripped off from Susie's fan meeting revenue. I sighed it in disappointment and felt a pang of reality hit the back of my head. This suffocating sensation brought further stifling questions. Why? Why couldn't I stay imagining for the rest of my life? Why couldn't the situation in the imagination replace the situation here in reality? I was extremely disappointed and looked back up at the poster. And I remembered me trying to Photoshop my face into hers, planning my schedule as if I was living her life, reenacting her movie scenes, and no, I had to stop. The medical doctor in Korea warned that I had to stop ruminating on these unnecessary thoughts because I was at a stage where these thoughts could negatively affect my health. I glanced between my pile of MUN work and my half-written Chinese essay and felt a sincere urge to crush them both. I realized I could make the choice to flee back to my fantasy, but logic reminded me that this will aggravate the situation here further when I return back to truth. I was stuck in between the two worlds, and for now, I knew I had to abide by the reality, the stressful one, until the two worlds combine into one. Thank you.